So show 6 here in Colorado was Fort Collins. Noah, our host in Fort Collins, he found us through YouTube. He saw somehow that we were looking for a house concert in Colorado, and he said he'd host. So originally he was going to host it at his house, but he said that too many people wanted to come for the amount his house could hold, which was, I think, was like, he said maybe he could fit 15 people. So he decided to, ask his church, and his church let us use the sanctuary.
It wasn't actually scheduled to be indoors. It was scheduled to be just outside of the main sanctuary, I think, in like a little courtyard. But then, because we were threatened with a little bit of rain, we got to move it inside the sanctuary, and actually had like a really nice sound system, nicer than what we usually use.
And oh man, that room was beautiful. The lighting was amazing. We almost probably could have gone fully acoustic, which we did at the end, like we usually do, but the acoustics were beautiful, and
it was a lot of fun. It so helps like get us in the mental space when people are excited to hear us play. I think we play some concerts where people are like, oh yeah, and it's like, but when people are really excited and they're like, oh, this is awesome, I'm so glad you're here, it kind of just lifts our spirits to be like, we are welcome, we want to be heard. And I think that was one of those nights where we really felt a sense of appreciation from the host.
What I really appreciated about this show was just the supportiveness and the energy of the hosts. I think what I appreciate about playing these style of shows is when somebody who even already likes our music is even more blown away by a live experience. Just when you see somebody who's just beaming and happy that we're playing in his space. So that was a fun show, and I just enjoyed the feeling of everything in there. Let's see. So we also didn't have James at this show.
Oh yes, that's right. James was not there.
James had gotten some kind of stomach bug, food poisoning, something like that.
I was sick that day, so I'm like, yep, I'm gonna have to sit this day out. So I don't know whether it was something I ate or just a weird delayed symptom of something. But I feel quite a bit better today. Throat's still a little scratchy. But
we had to lean more on the vocals. So I think I was making sure to fill all the vocal parts I possibly could, just because James sings a lot, and sometimes when James sings, I don't sing. So I was just singing pretty much the whole time. And it was kind of fun. It was just a different style of show, because me and KP and Jake were just doing 3-part harmonies most of the time, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it, because it's kind of how I got into music, just choirs and learning how to harmonize, and just seeing that's being used right now, and that the Lord's using that in different ways to bless people is pretty cool. I've enjoyed that portion of this tour and just of this lifestyle.
What'd you end up doing? You just ended up chilling, relaxing?
yeah, just spent the day resting at the house. Probably some much needed rest. There's a chance it was just because I was just overtired. But I think all of us have been running on not as much sleep as we probably need. Yeah, and then this morning we woke up to the sound of hammers and scrapers on the roof of the house we were staying at. Like about 8 in the morning, all of a sudden we just heard this commotion upstairs, and they were ripping the roof off, getting ready to do a new roof on the building. So didn't get much sleep today or last night. So
the people who hosted us at that show, Noah and Ben, are awesome guys. They run their own podcast
Called The Noodle Podcast.
It's called Noodle. Oh man, what is it called?
Noodlepodcast.com.
Something Noodle.
Noodle. Is that what it's called? Noodles at noon. Noon noodles. Noodles at noon. That's my final answer.
Anyway, we had a really great time doing a short podcast episode with them.
And him and Ben interviewed us for this quick little post show interview for their podcast, and yeah, it was just really fun. We played like a funny game, and
they even had this awesome idea to take folk lyrics and like put them through a whole bunch of iterations of like Google Translate from like English, and then put it into like Bulgarian or something like that, and then like translate it a few more times into different languages, and then finally back to English. And KP was pretty amazing at figuring out the songs really quickly. She's very good with those lyrics. Jake also was able to get one. I don't think anyone else got one.
just got to talk a little bit about how it all happened and stuff, how we got to be there, and yeah. So I think that's my favorite part of this job, is just meeting people that somehow came across our music, and our music has meant a lot in their life, and that's a really big honor to be able to meet and play for people, and especially ones that have been following you for a while, and yeah.
Help me through this dark of night. Oh, it's hard to trust.
Hey, if you've enjoyed what you've been watching, and you want to follow us on other places other than YouTube, we're on Instagram and Facebook at the Riverside Folk. So that's our name, the Riverside, and folk, the kind of music we play. Thank you. Have a great day.